All right. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Let's Talk Tottenham. Today, I am doing a live version of Tottenham News Digest. It's been a month and a half since I've done this, and I apologize that it has been so long. In part, that's been because I've been really enjoying doing the reactions and connecting with people on Discord and different things like that. But I wanted to get back to the things that I love to do, and one of those things is this Tottenham News Digest. And why am I doing it live? Well, I have an announcement to make. Beginning this very Monday, we are going to be doing a new segment called Let's Talk Tottenham Together. And we're going to do it at 7 a.m. Eastern. And I would love for you to be a part of that. So what I wanted to do was just give a little bit of an example of how you can get involved with that show. It's going to be live. I'm going to be broadcasting it right here on YouTube. And so the best way that you can get involved is to actually join our Discord server. So if you join our Discord server here, you can take a look, join us, and get involved in some of the different conversations that we have going on. And the best way to get involved with the videos is going to be this channel right here, You Tell Me. People have been putting their posts in there, and if you want to let me know your thoughts via text, you do that just there. If you want to let me know your thoughts and say, hey, I want to send in an audio clip to be part of the show, awesome. Let me know right there. Send me that audio clip. Make sure it's in by 6 p.m. Eastern on Sundays so that I can get into the show by Monday morning. And then if you would like to be a live caller, you got to let me know that beforehand, and I'd love to kind of get you on the schedule for that. So again, get into the Discord server, be part of the You Tell Me channel, and let me know. I want to be a caller. Let me know what you want to talk about, and we'll get you as this role. It'll be the LT3 caller role. And yeah, you'll be a caller. We'll talk live. I would love to chat with you about Tottenham. So that's a little bit about the Discord server. But really what I'm here to do is talk about the news. So in this live episode of the news, I wanted to talk about the financials that Tottenham had shared with us, their 2020 year-end financials. And obviously there was going to be a loss, TV revenue, no fans for the last few games. So I wanted to look at how does that affect us? What does that really mean for Spurs? So first things first, let's just move over to the Athletic here. And here's what the Athletic had to say. It says, this is by Charlie Eccleshare on November 23rd. And it says, Spurs 63.9 million losses and what they could mean for the club. It says a day that started with Tottenham offering a bleak summary of how their financial fortunes have shifted due to COVID-19 ended with the cheering news that fans could soon be allowed to return to the grounds. Monday afternoon also saw Tottenham publish their financial results, which, although reinforced the headline figures in the original summary, also offered a reminder of why they are one of the best-run clubs in the country. And I'm telling you, after taking a look at all of this, I really do feel that way. I feel like I'm really comfortable with Levy at the helm. And I know not everybody feels that way. Sometimes they feel like he doesn't spend money where he should. But to be honest, I mean, he's really running this like a great business. And we're going to see that in just a little bit. So let's just jump down here. To start with the more sobering news, Spurs forecasted a possible loss of $150 million in 2020 to 2021 on Monday. Their financial results showed a loss of $63.9 million for the year ending June 30th, 2020, compared to a profit of $68.6 million for the previous 12 months. And looking ahead, Spurs chairman said, our estimate for the current financial year of the potential loss of revenue should the stadium remain closed to fans is in excess of $150 million. These numbers paint a bleak picture, a glass of cold water in the face after the joys of beating Manchester City and going top of the Premier League over the weekend. And that was a sight to see. So, let me just continue reading just briefly here, and then we'll talk about it a little more. To further illustrate the different financial landscape we are now operating in, Spurs accounts revealed that Levy was paid $2.95 million in 2019-20, which was a 59% drop from the $7.01 million he earned in the previous year. Much of that was the bonuses of the completion of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. And they say, before you angrily head to the comments section, no, we're not expecting sympathy for this reduction. Lastly, at least for me, but I would encourage you to read it. There'll be a link in the description for all of these articles. Either way, Tottenham are facing a very delicate situation. The wiping out of crowds at games, of course, being the nightmare scenario for a club that had staked the next stage of its development upon the 1.2 billion new stadium. And yes, I think they sum that up rather nicely, that the financials don't look great for last year, not looking great for this year, and in part that's due to no fans being in the stands. So I wanted to kind of touch base on that a little bit and show this is an article here by NBC Sports, and how Premier League fans will be able to return or be returning. So here's what they explain. I'm not going to read the whole thing, just briefly. How many fans can return to Premier League stadiums? And it says there will be a maximum of 4,000 fans allowed into the stadium if it is located in a Tier 1 region. If the stadium is located in a Tier 2 region, it's a maximum of 2,000 fans. And on Tier 3, no fans will be allowed entry. As things stand, there will only be home fans allowed in the stadiums. And I think that's the right call, right? I mean, having away fans taking up those cherished seats, that'd be really rough. And so they also explain here, these are the Premier League teams that are allowed to have a maximum of 2,000 fans. Now, I just want to note that this was written on November 26th by Joe Prince Wright, so it might be a little bit outdated, but so here's what it says. 2,000 fans starting December 2nd, which is right around the corner here. Liverpool, Everton, Tottenham, Chelsea, West Ham, Crystal Palace, Arsenal, Fulham, Brighton, and Southampton. And then these are the teams with no fans, even as of December 2nd. Aston Villa, Burnley, Leeds, Leicester, Manchester City, Man United, Newcastle, Sheffield, West Brom, and Wolves. Now, I've seen a couple different things here. Some managers are like just glad to see that fans are going to be, back in the stands. And I feel like, now I could be biased, right? Because Spurs are going to have some fans in the stands, but I think this is a great thing for the game. Even if it's just 2,000 fans, and none of them are cheering for you, right? You're the away team. I think I feel like some of these games are crazy. The amount of goals that have been scored, it would be just great to get back to normal a little bit. And I feel for the players a little bit. I mean, right, they're making millions of dollars during a pandemic where many people have lost their jobs. But I just sense that, man, some of these players, right, they could use a little support, especially guys like Dele. At least personally, I feel like, man, it would be great to show a little bit of support for him when he's not doing so well. But let me get back to this talk of the finances. And I've mentioned this Twitter handle before. It's by Visible. And here's what they say here. It says, following the release of Man United and Tottenham's 2019-2020 financials, Big Six clubs remain in the tradition of economic losses. 68 balance sheets since 2009, Big Six have achieved just 16 economic profits. I think this is incredible. Of 68, only 16 have had a profit, and it says 10 have come from American clubs, and the other 6 are Spurs. 10 from American clubs and the other 6 from Spurs. I think it just shows you, man, it is just thin ice, just really thin ice. And so I want to show this picture as well because I think it's a graphic that really helps show and explain what this looks like. You got everybody here throwing up some red, except for Daniel Levy. And that is because I think Daniel Levy is living that thug life, you know what I mean? So Daniel Levy is, oh gosh, Daniel Levy is only had 1 year in the red, true red, you know what I'm saying? And obviously, just kind of keeping it right around mid-level here, 0 to 20 million. And then you look at everybody else, and Manchester United have decent financials, but pretty much everybody else is looking pretty bleak in the Big Six, and it just shows that we are having an opportunity to grow. And I think to go on, I just want to talk about this because Alistair Gold, the GOAT, Gold, he talked about just how much more remarkable it is that we were able to have the transfer window that we had. I mean, think about this, right? Significant losses. We just built this new stadium, no fans, and we used to talk about ambition as Spurs fans and being like, does Daniel Levy have ambition? And I think this summer really showed the ambition. And if you are denying him that the stadium is ambition, right? Like if you're saying like, no, the stadium doesn't count as ambition. I really feel like that should count towards his ambition to build one of the greatest stadiums in the world, technologically advanced, bigger than our rivals down the road. I feel like all of the little details of trying to keep fans closer to the pitch, trying to keep the sound in, and hiring, sound engineers to work on all that. I think that's ambition as well. Now, it's not putting players on the pitch, and I would agree. I want to see that probably more. But here we are, and now we do have players on the pitch, and that's why I go to this article by Alistair Gold, who says why Tottenham's transfer plans are all the more remarkable after Daniel Levy's latest words. And so I'm just going to skip down here again. When I finally post this video, I'll put links in the description. But he says, in came Pierre-Emile Højbjerg, Joe Hart, Matt Doherty, Sergio Reguilon, Gareth Bale, Carlos Vinicius, and Joe Rodon. All of those names came this summer. It's incredible. Football.London understands that Levy's negotiating skills came to the fore during the window, with not only bargain prices agreed with many clubs, but payments for various deals being spread thinly over installments. I think that's going to be super important. Now, Højbjerg has proved to be the key man for Mourinho, and with Kyle Walker-Peters going in the opposite direction, the Dane came in for just a $3 million net. Hart arrived on a free transfer, while Doherty, the second most creative right back in the past 2 seasons, was prized away from Wolves for 13.3 with no add-ons. I'm telling you, Daniel Levy is living that thug life. You know what I'm saying? Man, okay, Europa League winner Reguilon, voted the best left back in La Liga last season, arrived for $28 million. Because of the buyback clause. And man, when you see Reguilon wearing those Spurs pajamas, I mean, I don't know. I just hope he's not going back, right? It would take a lot. It would mean, he wants to go. Real Madrid want him back, which is possible. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm saying he feels pretty, come on you Spurs right now. You know what I'm saying? Come on you Spurs! So, that's Reguilon. Then we got Bale back, and it looks like we're paying only 40% of his wages. He was injured. We didn't pay for any of the time that he was injured. Right here it says that when it was discovered that he was injured on arrival, Levy is believed to have renegotiated the deal so that Spurs did not pay his wages until he was fit to play. Then Vinicius, Spurs were initially quoted $50 million. However, the side's costly exit from the Champions League qualifying stages meant Levy returned and got Mourinho his man for just $2.7 million on loan, with an option to make the deal permanent for $38.2 million. And then lastly, the 23-year-old Wales international Joe Rodon has already made 2 appearances, was brought in for $11 million in the domestic window. So tons of activity even this summer, and I think it really does show the ambition of Daniel Levy and the club, and I sure hope that we start to see this continuing on the pitch. And even as we think about January, this is one of the things I'm going to be talking about, on Monday morning. We got this new show called Let's Talk Tottenham Together, Mondays at 7 a.m. One of the things I want to be talking about is one of the players that I think could be leaving potentially in January, and if not in January, definitely next summer, because I feel like the club has taken that next step. Jose Mourinho came in last season, and now he's really making the team his own. So I feel like we're going to talk about that on Monday morning. I hope you'll join us. And yeah, we'll be talking about Ludogorets. We'll talk about what happens tomorrow against Chelsea. But the last thing I wanted to focus on was this Twitter thread by @SwissRamble. And I just think it's really fascinating. Here's the first tweet. Just saying this here. Tottenham's 2019-2020 financial results covered a season that was disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic, but they still benefited from the new stadium. The club finished 6th in the Premier League and reached the last 16 in the Champions League. Some thoughts to follow. Now, this is a super long thread. I'm talking miles long when you're talking about Twitter. So I'm just going to hit some of these highlights here. Tottenham, let's see, it says 392 million revenue is now around the same level as 395 for Arsenal, though the Gunners figure is likely to be lower than when they published the COVID impacts on the 2019-2020 accounts. That said, Spurs are still a fair way behind other leading clubs. As an example, Man United were nearly 120 million higher. So let me just show you that graphic here. And you can just see this is the revenue here, 3 million behind, but there's a significant need for growth if we're going to be catching up to the likes of United, Liverpool, and City. But there's still good news in that, I feel like, because we'll take a look at this here. Particularly when it comes to match day revenue. This was kind of incredible. So 95 million match day revenue has overtaken Man United at 90 million and is only behind Arsenal, who has 96 million, which will fall in the 2019-2020 season, of course. In fact, based on an incredible 5.9 million per match for games played with fans, Spurs revenue could have been as high as 124 million in a normal season, which would be a Premier League record. And man, think about that, 5.9 million per match when fans are in the stands. That is good news for Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. You know what I mean? I think this is just showing again that ambition of Daniel Levy to see this stadium for what it is, the opportunity that it will afford. And now obviously we're not even talking about the, boxing matches, concerts, NFL games, and all the revenue that would bring in as well. So yeah, but just to show that picture here. So here we go. This is match day revenue, and you can see Arsenal are up top. We're only down by a cool mil. And yeah, would have been a lot higher had we been able to finish out the season with fans in the stands. So yeah, very, very interesting stuff. I feel like, we're doing pretty well, even in the midst of this worldwide pandemic, this worldwide crisis. And I have to give a lot of credit to Daniel Levy for that. I just feel like in terms of clubs, I feel like we're run in such a way that it still feels relatively stable, even when everything else feels so unstable. They had good enough financials to get that loan with the the interest rate being incredibly low, and you just think hopefully that'll get us covered until we can fully get fans back in the stands. Looking at 2,000 on December 2nd, I believe. I could be wrong about this, but I believe that's going to be our North London derby. To have 2,000 fans would be better than 0 fans, that is for sure. So I just wanted to talk about that today, share some of my thoughts with you, and let you know, coming up Monday at this brand new show called Let's Talk Tottenham Together. I would love for you to be involved. Sign up on our Discord. That's the quickest way to get involved as well. And would love to have you in the chat too. So, oh man, I see Artem And Yuval said, hi. Yes, I'm live today, just kind of previewing what's going to be coming up next Monday, 7 a.m. Eastern. We're going to be having a live show, and if you're part of the Discord, you can get on that call and be live talking, joined by anyone who's watching. You can also get in the comments and have a conversation here. We're going to be talking about the Ludogorets game. We're going to be talking about Chelsea, and then yeah, anything else that kind of comes up as well. So that's it. That's it for today's live little Tottenham News Digest. Thanks so much for watching. It was good to see some people in the comments, and as ever, it was great talking with you.